Good morning. Please step forward. Passports, please. State your full name and the purpose of your trip to the United States. Did you freeze? Did your heart start beating a little faster just then? Even though you are sitting comfortably at home or walking to work, hearing that formal, direct tone can make your mind go blank. You might know words like sponsor or tourism or sightseeing when you see them written down in a textbook, but can you use them in a full grammatical sentence when a serious officer is staring at you? That is exactly what we are going to fix today. Welcome back to the Everyday English Podcast. I am Sarah.
And I am Mark. Today we are doing something a little different. Usually we talk about vocabulary lists or grammar rules, but today we are not just learning. We are simulating. We are going to put you in the hot seat.
That is right, Mark. We are creating a mock interview simulation. In this episode, Mark is going to play the role of the immigration officer or the visa officer. He will not be the friendly Mark you know. He is going to be professional, direct, and maybe a little bit intimidating. He will ask you the 4 most difficult questions you will face during a visa interview or at the airport border control.
I'm ready.
I will ask the question and then we will give you a moment of silence, about 10 seconds, where you must answer out loud. I want you to actually speak to your phone or computer. After you answer, Sarah and I will break down the situation. We will analyze a bad answer, showing you why it fails, and then we will build a perfect answer together, using strong vocabulary and correct grammar. This is the bridge between knowing English and using English. It's about muscle memory. If you practice these answers now in this safe environment, the words will come out naturally when it really matters. So, are you ready to begin?
I think they are ready, Sarah. Let's set the scene. You have waited in line for 2 hours. You are tired. You are holding your documents. You walk up to the glass window. The officer does not smile. He looks at his computer screen, then looks at you. Here is the first question. Why are you traveling to the United States? Go ahead. Answer now. Okay, stop. Take a deep breath. How did that feel? Did you say a full sentence or did you just say one word? This is the most common mistake we hear, Sarah. I ask, why are you traveling? And the student says, tourism, or maybe just vacation. Technically, those answers are true, but they are weak. They are what we call low-effort answers. When you give a one-word answer, you force the officer to do more work. You force them to ask another question to get more details. Officers do not want to do more work. They want to be reassured quickly. If you just say tourism, it sounds vague. It sounds like you don't have a plan, and people without a plan are suspicious.
Exactly. A vague answer makes you look unprepared. So let's look at the grammar of a strong answer. We want to avoid just using a noun. We want to use a verb structure that shows intention. A great formula here is I am visiting plus a specific timeline plus a specific location.
Notice that Sarah said specific location. Do not just say, I am visiting the US. We know that. You are standing at the US border. Be precise. Say, I am visiting New York for 10 days, or I am visiting the Grand Canyon for my summer holiday. Let's try to build a model answer. Mark, ask me the question again, and I will give a bad answer first. Okay. Why are you traveling to the United States? I want to see the country. Okay, cut. Sarah, that was terrible. I want to see the country is something a child says. It's too broad. The United States is huge. You cannot see the country in 2 weeks. It sounds fake. Now give me a strong answer. Why are you traveling to the United States? I am visiting California for 2 weeks to attend my sister's wedding and spend a few days in San Francisco. That is perfect. Listen to the difference. She gave me 3 pieces of information in 1 sentence. First, the activity, visiting. Second, the duration, 2 weeks. Third, the specific purpose, my sister's wedding. That answer makes me trust her immediately. It shows she has an itinerary and a reason to be there. And notice the verb tense. I use the present continuous, I am visiting. You can also use I am going to visit. Both show a concrete plan. Avoid saying I will visit. Will can sometimes sound like a sudden decision you made right now. I am visiting sounds like a plan you made months ago. Let's try this again. I want you, the listener, to try again, but this time add a detail. Do not just say vacation. Add a place like Disney World or Las Vegas, and add a duration like 10 days. Mark, ask them again. Why are you traveling to the United States? Answer now. Excellent. Even if you just whispered it, that was better. You are training your brain to provide detail automatically. Now let's move to round 2. This is often the most uncomfortable part of the interview for many cultures, talking about money. In many countries, it is rude to discuss your finances openly, but for a visa officer, money is the most important factor. They need to know you can pay for this trip without working illegally in their country.
That is right. If you seem shy or secretive about money, they will suspect you don't have enough. You need to be direct. The vocabulary word here is finance, used as a verb, or fund, but the officer will usually ask it simply. Here is the question. Who is paying for this trip? Go ahead, answer. Okay, this question has 2 main paths. Either you are paying for yourself, or someone else is paying for you. If someone else is paying for you, you cannot just say, my uncle. That is too informal. It sounds like he just gave you cash in an envelope. We need a more official word. That word is sponsor. Yes, sponsor is the magic word. Even if it is your father or your company, for the purpose of the interview, they are your sponsor. If you say, my father is paying, it is okay. But if you say, my father is sponsoring my trip, you sound educated and prepared. You sound like you understand the legal requirements. But Sarah, what if they are paying for themselves? What is the mistake there? The mistake is giving too much unnecessary information or being confused about the numbers. I have heard students start listing all their bank accounts. I have $5,000 in this bank and $2,000 in that bank, and my credit card has a limit of... Stop. That is too much. You are nervous rambling. The officer just wants to know if you are financially independent. A great phrase to use here is self-funded. It is clean, professional, and strong. The trip is self-funded, or I am paying for the trip myself. And then follow it up with evidence, but only if asked, or offer it politely. A great sentence is, I am paying for the trip myself. I have my bank statements here if you would like to see them. That shows so much confidence. You are saying, I have the money and I have the proof right here. You are not hiding anything. Let's practice the sponsor scenario first. Imagine your company is sending you for a conference. Mark, ask the question. Who is paying for this trip? My company is sponsoring the trip, covering my flight and accommodation. Oh, that is a beautiful answer. Covering, that's a great verb. To cover expenses means to pay for them. My father is covering my expenses. It sounds much better than my father is giving me money. It implies a complete package. The flight, the hotel, the food, it is covered. It feels secure. Now let's practice the self-funded answer. I will ask you, the listener. Remember to use the phrase self-funded or paying for it myself, and mention that you have proof. Who is paying for this trip? Answer now. Good. Hopefully you didn't start reciting your bank account number. Keep it simple. I am paying for it myself, and I have sufficient funds. Sufficient is another excellent vocabulary word. It means enough. I have sufficient funds for the duration of my stay. That is a level C1 sentence right there. Now we arrive at round 3. This is the big one. This is the question that causes the most rejections. It is the question about ties to your home country. This is crucial. The officer's legal job is to assume you want to stay in the US forever. Your job is to prove them wrong. You need to prove that you have a strong reason to go back home. These reasons are called ties. A tie is like a rope that pulls you back to your country. Common ties are a job, a family, a house, or university studies. But the mistake students make is that they describe these things weakly. They use simple present tense when they should use structures that show deep commitment. Here is the question. It sounds simple, but it is a trap. What will you do when your trip is over? Go ahead, answer. This is a tricky one. If you said, I will go home, that is true, but it is weak. Why will you go home? Anyone can say they will go home. You need to explain why you must go home. We need to talk about the grammar of obligation. Words like must, have to, and required to. These are your best friends in this answer. You want to show the officer that you have no choice but to return because people depend on you. Let's look at the job example. A weak answer is, I have a job. A strong answer uses the present perfect continuous to show longevity.
I have been working at my company for 5 years, and I must return to work on September 1st. Do you hear the difference? I have a job could mean you started yesterday. You could quit tomorrow. I have been working there for 5 years implies stability. You are not going to throw away a 5-year career for a 2-week vacation. And adding the specific date, I must return on September 1st, is very powerful. It creates a deadline in the officer's mind. It shows you have discussed your leave with your boss. What about family ties, Mark? This is sensitive but effective. If you take care of elderly parents or have children, mention it. A weak answer is, my family is in my country. Everyone has family in their country. That doesn't stop people from immigrating. A strong answer is, I take care of my elderly mother, so I need to return to assist her. Or, my wife and children are waiting for me in Madrid. Waiting for me, that is a strong emotional hook. It implies you are expected. You are missing. Let's try a simulation for this one. I want you to imagine you have a good job that you have held for a few years. When Mark asks you, use the I have been working structure and give a specific return date.
What will you do when your trip is over? Answer now. Did you use the present perfect continuous? I have been working? If not, write that down. It is the single best grammar structure to prove professional stability. There is another aspect to this question, Sarah. Sometimes they ask about assets, like a house. Yes, if you own a home, do not just say, I have a house. Use the word own. I own my home. Or if you have a loan on it, mention the mortgage. I have a mortgage to pay. Debt is actually a very good tie. If you have a mortgage, the officer knows you need to go home to pay it. That is a funny paradox. Debt is bad for your finances, but good for your visa application. It shows you are anchored to your home economy. Let's move to round 4. This isn't about a specific topic. It is about a specific situation, the curveball. A curveball is a baseball term. It means a ball that moves in a surprising direction. In an interview, a curveball is when the officer speaks too fast, uses a word you don't know, or mumbles. This happens all the time. Airports are noisy. There is glass between you and the officer. They might be tired and speaking quietly. The problem is that many English learners panic. When they don't understand, they freeze, or they guess. Never guess. If you guess and answer yes to a question like, are you carrying prohibited items, you could be in big trouble. But the other mistake is being too casual. If you don't hear the question, do not say what, and definitely do not say, huh? What sounds aggressive? Huh sounds uneducated. You are in a formal legal interview. You need to use formal clarification phrases. We want to teach you 2 safety phrases. These are your shields. If you get confused, hold up your shield. Phrase number 1. I'm sorry, could you please rephrase that? Rephrase is a wonderful word. It means say it in different words. If you just say repeat, they might just say the same difficult word again, just louder. That doesn't help you. Rephrase asks them to simplify the vocabulary. Phrase number 2. I'm sorry, it is a little noisy. Could you say that again, please? This one is great because it blames the environment, not your English skills. You aren't saying, my English is bad. You are saying, the airport is noisy. It protects your confidence. So let's simulate this. I am going to mumble a question. I want you to use one of the safety phrases. Do not try to answer the question. Just ask me to fix it. So she plan on staying here? Go ahead, use the phrase. Good. If you said, I'm sorry, could you please rephrase that? The officer will stop, look at you, and speak clearly. So what are your plans while staying here? See, you took control of the conversation. You turned a moment of panic into a moment of clear communication. That shows maturity. Officers like maturity. We have covered the purpose, the money, the ties, and the clarification. But before we finish, I want to talk about something that isn't about words. It's about how you say them. Body language. In many cultures, looking down is a sign of respect. You look down when a person of authority is speaking to you. But in the US, the UK, Canada, and Australia, eye contact is trust. If you look at the floor while answering, I am visiting for tourism,
You look like you are lying. You look like you are hiding something. You must force yourself to look at the officer's face. You don't have to stare into their eyes intensely, but look at their face. And keep your hands visible. It sounds like a movie, but it is true. Fidgeting, touching your face, or hiding your hands can be interpreted as nervousness, which can be interpreted as guilt. Sit up straight, speak loudly. The glass barrier is thick. You need to project your voice. If you whisper, you seem unsure. A loud voice is a confident voice. Let's do one final super round. I am going to ask you the hardest question again, the ties question. I want you to combine everything. Strong voice, eye contact with your camera or phone, present perfect continuous grammar, specific dates. Are you ready? Sit up straight. Mr. or Mrs. Applicant, you have traveled quite a bit, but tell me, what is going to ensure you return to your home country after this visit? Answer now. Strong voice. Excellent work. That feeling, that adrenaline, is good. It means you are taking it seriously. Remember, an interview is a performance. You are playing the role of a successful, honest traveler, and like any actor, you need to learn your lines. Do not try to memorize a script word for word, because if you forget one word, you will panic. Instead, memorize your bullet points. Know your dates, know your job title in English, know the word sponsor, know the phrase self-funded. If you have these bricks, you can build any sentence you need in the moment. We really recommend you listen to this episode a few times. The first time, it is normal to be nervous. The second time, you will anticipate Mark's questions. By the third time, you will be answering faster than he can finish asking. That is fluency. And there is one more piece to this puzzle. We talked about vocabulary and grammar today, but if your pronunciation is unclear, even the best grammar won't help you. The officer needs to understand you instantly. If you want to make sure your numbers, like 15 versus 50, and your key verbs are perfectly clear, you need to work on your pronunciation next. It is the final polish on your English suit.
Thank you for practicing with us today. It takes courage to speak out loud, even to a podcast. But every time you do it, you get a little bit stronger. You are doing great. Keep practicing, keep shadowing, and do not let the nerves win. We will see you in the next episode of the Everyday English Podcast. Good luck and safe travels.